now tuned in to K1NG Radio, the number one independent radio station in South Florida.
Don't trust no nigga. I ain't got it in my blood, ever fear no bitch. If it's a problem, I will run through you and your clique. Been talking greasy, come.
Allô?
Allô? Calmas?
Yeah.
You are now tuned in to K1NG Radio, the number one independent radio station in South Florida.
Depuis on te fait mbouiller, madame, te give up.
Ah bon?
Avant te quitté, m'nam te quitté déjà. Kounyo croisé ma femme, mon vle manqué m'dega. Quel pas qu'on est sous tes plans coup d'état. Allons bas. Avant te quitté, m'nam te quitté déjà. Kounyo croisé ma femme, mon vle manqué m'dega. Quel pas qu'on est sous.
You are now tuned in to K1NG Radio, the number one independent radio station in South Florida.
She vibing, she threw it over that trunk. She vibing, she don't wanna go home. She vibing, don't take her out of her zone. She vibing, she just wanna be left alone. Oh no, she just celebrating. Fuck it, let's get faded. No sex education, just really X-rated. Not trying to catch no cases. So no demons faces. Know my section stay lit. Still outside your face it. Shining like a lighthouse. Them haters can't take it. Hate to tell me what it's worth. Double C's on your purse. LB's on your skirt. Now this pussy smell like burnt. Must proceed with caution. Super SPI-licious. Yeah, that booty big ferocious. Plus she just popped 2 more doses. Took my shot when it was open. She was with it, now we rolling. Always dripping, never trolling. If you see her, you gon' notice.
Her hair on fleek, her nails on fleek, her house on fleek, her cars on fleek, her hair on fleek, her nails on fleek, her house on fleek, her cars on fleek. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip, drip.
Don't slip, cause she got fire. Honey's in a beehive, from Bay on the east side. She stashed her work when we ride. She don't tell our secret, she quiet, but that's the way we vibe. She don't smoke, she drink. I just like to get high. In the MIA we shoot. Ooh, had to make her my boo. Ooh, I love the way that she move. Ooh, cross my ex for that new. No ceilings on that new. Cool, drop the top when we cruise. Through it yesterday, that's old news. Right now I just wanna hold you. Come here, baby, let me hold you. Promise never let go of you. I always have made more of you. I be your daddy, I spoil you. Cut off chicks I knew before you. She that one that said all true. Ever since the first day I saw you.
Her hair on fleek, her nails on fleek, her house on fleek, her cars on fleek, her hair on fleek, her nails on fleek, her house on fleek, her cars on fleek. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got that drip, drip. Her hair on fleek, her nails on fleek, her house on fleek, her cars on fleek, her hair on fleek, her nails on fleek, her house on fleek, her cars on fleek. Don't slip, don't slip, you know she got her cars on fleek. Her hair.
You are now tuned in to K1NG Radio, the number one independent radio station in South Florida.
Oh, there we go. How come I can't hear myself? Can you hear me? You can hear me fine? I don't know. I can't hear anything. Anyway, welcome to Shut Up and Listen. This is the end of the end of the month, January 2020 recap episode. So we've had a couple of, I think I was off 2 weeks this month. Of course, we had 1 week where I was off for my birthday because, you know, I had to enjoy myself. I went ziplining and stuff, which was fun. Is there hair coming out this mic? There's definitely hair coming out this mic. Definitely enjoyed myself, went ziplining, and yes, I do stuff like that. I went skydiving for my birthday, I think, in 2011. So I think the next one might be like, I don't know, kayaking or something. I don't know. I'm going to figure something out. But Brian Ontario couldn't make it this week. That's okay. We'll see him next week, hopefully. Hope he's doing okay. Hope he's doing well. First of all, I'd like to start off the show by saying rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. There's news that's spreading right now that he passed away in a helicopter crash. That has yet to be confirmed, but we'll find out by the time the Black Blanket is on. We will know for sure. I think we'll have confirmation here at the station as to whether or not Mr. Bryant has actually passed. But rest in peace to him if the news is true. That is unfortunate considering that he just had a child and his eldest child is just getting into basketball. So that's pretty unfortunate for that to have taken place at this time. But I mean, January so far, aside from that tragic news, January has been a pretty good month for me aside from it being my birthday month. I don't know. I always try to stay in good spirits about whatever's going on, but like I said before, I ain't gonna try to bore y'all too much because if I talk by myself, I don't know. I don't really have much to talk about. I'm used to having somebody to bounce off of. Mr. Ontario kind of threw me off when he said he wasn't coming, so I'm just kind of winging it here, guys. But I've taken a look at the Shut Up and Listen to the viewers page, and we really I want to get some more engagement, so we're gonna try to come up with some topics to engage in and to cover inside the group so that we can get some more participation. But I'd like to know y'all opinions. Like, what do y'all have y'all ever had somebody who hit y'all up that has like cut you off as a friend or blocked you or like just stopped talking to you and then out of nowhere they hit you up, or like just somebody you've been friends with for a long time and they just decide that they're not gonna be friends with you but they don't tell you? Like, y'all probably been best friends for like ever, and then they just decide out of nowhere, like, yeah, nah, I'm not talking to you no more. And they don't even tell you they're not talking to you. They just stop talking to you with no official real reason. Like, that's kind of off. It's kind of strange. I don't know. That sounds suspect to me. But y'all give me y'all feedback on that. I don't know. I don't really have much to cover other than the fact that I have just been preparing for 2020, you know, trying to do things different, trying to eat better, trying to do better with my life. I don't know. I don't do well talking about myself, y'all. I really don't. I need somebody to talk to. This is kind of strange. It's one thing when I'm kind of stalling for time for somebody to come and talk with me and to do the show. But it's a whole nother thing when I'm trying to run a whole hour show by myself and just sit here and ramble. It don't work well for me. I don't do well with just rambling on with no real subject to talk about. As a matter of fact, let me grab my notebook. Let me see what we got, what kind of topics we got in the notebook, because there might be some discussion-worthy topics here in the notebook. Let's see what we got here. So, all right. So, here's some of the things we're going to cover on Shut Up and Listen to 2020. And y'all can feel free to pick one of these topics or chime in, or hey Jessica, y'all can pick which topic y'all want to be the next the topics for February. So we have Black woman being strong stigma. So like how the society's always expecting Black women to just be strong. Like, anytime we show any type of emotional vulnerability or we're upset, all of a sudden we're bitter. And it's just like, we don't have the freedom. Like when we were doing Battle of the Sexes back in December, the guys were saying that women have more freedom to be emotionally expressive. But I don't feel that's true for black women, because as soon as we show some type of weakness, we either get taken advantage of is a lot of times, or if we show, especially like in the corporate environment, if we show disdain or we show that we're upset about something, now all of a sudden we're the angry black woman or we're the bitter black woman. Or if you have an issue, especially when it comes to like mothers with their children, if they're no longer with the child's father, then all of a sudden you a bitter baby mama if you don't get along with the father, or you don't let certain stuff just pass. It's like now all of a sudden you bitter, and it sucks. I agree. So Jessica says we need to do a segment on helping and inspiring young black women to start their own businesses, like a mini business 101 class. So what I will probably try to do to see if we can get a business guru or a financial consultant or something like that to come on the show and talk about stuff like that. That would be one of the things that we'll probably get going, because I'm no expert on that, so I can't do necessarily lead a business 101 class. I ain't gonna lie to you, I be winging it. Like even in my own business, I be winging it. I get advice and I talk to people whom I trust, people whom I kind of look up to as far as like business wise. Sometimes it be my own peers when I see them doing certain things. I be like, hey, how did you get this done? I network a lot. Aw, thank you, Jessica. Oh, well, I mean, I'm not being modest. Like, really, like, I take it one step at a time, and I implement things. You know, I find what works, and sometimes I don't even know if it's gonna work. I just be trying stuff, and if it is, sometimes it work out. I be like, all right, cool. What's the next step? So, you know, I like to take advice from people and absorb information. And, you know, I'm always open to learning new things. And I think the biggest asset to starting a business or running a business or even being successful in any aspect is realizing that you don't know everything. Once you come into that mindset that you don't know everything, you can learn anything, because then you're always open to new and arising information. And you're not going to be closed off to anybody teaching you anything. I feel like I can learn anything from anybody, older than me, younger than me. It doesn't matter. Knowledge has no age bracket or age limit, I should say. So I feel like I even learn things from my daughter on a day-to-day basis. My daughter teaches me new things, and she's, you know, I've been here much longer than she has, but she teaches me new things. So Jessica says she's learned lots from going to seminars, but I taught her the basics, and I'd be perfect to start it, and you can learn with the rest of. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, so I'll pick up some stuff, and I'll see if I can do some research, and then we can have an open discussion about stuff as far as like business goes, and we gonna do it like I do. We just gonna wing it, and we gonna see where we go from there. But I'd still like to see if we can have like a business consultant or somebody, a person who's knowledgeable in that field who can provide expert advice, just so we can have that as a viewpoint for somebody who has a bit more experience in the field, and they can give us tips on things that we could do differently or things that we can do better. So we also have some of this stuff I can't I can't even really go off of this all the time. So I was watching the Grammys. There's a topic here, and the reason why I'm bringing up the Grammys is because I want to segue into one of the topics here. But I wasn't watching the Grammys, but like the preview, I guess, to the Grammys. And one new up and coming artist I could say who's pretty popular now is DaBaby. And don't get me wrong, I applaud DaBaby for his success and his authenticity, because I think that's what makes him so popular. His authenticity makes him, it's original content. His whole persona and the character he I don't know if that's just really him or if that's like an image he's portraying, but it's very marketable, you know what I mean? And My only concern is the money management, because I see him, I don't know what his record deal entails or none of that, and I'm not passing judgment because I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I see him spending a lot of money on chains and, jewelry or whatever. And my only hope is that somebody is in his circle teaching him money management skills, which goes back to what we were just talking about the business 101 and handling your money. Because a lot of these artists, especially people who, I was to be blunt, like come from nothing, and they get put into these record deals and they sign these contracts with these record companies, and they get $1 million contract and don't realize, yeah, they just handed you $1 million, but you got to pay all that back, whether it's through record sales or whatever. But it's basically a loan, and you don't understand that at first. You're like, oh, I got $1 million, I'm good, I'm Gucci, I can buy my mama a house, I could do this, I could do that. But now you're in debt to that record label, and in that contract you owe them X, Y, Z. There's stipulations in that contract behind that $1 million, or however much they signed you for. So I really hope that DaBaby has some strong people in his camp that are teaching him money management skills, investment tactics, and on how to multiply his money and invest those funds that have been loaned to him, so that not only he can pay back the label, but he'll still have assets that he can, enjoy later on, and he's not going to be busting his butt trying to pay back these record label because they gave him all his money. That would be very unfortunate to find out. I don't want to see him in no MC Hammer type situation. That would suck. For real, man. Like, DaBaby, and then he was down here in Miami, he went to jail, so it's just like, bro, you getting in trouble and shit, the record label got to bail you out. They gonna add that onto the bill. Like, don't think that they just gonna bail you out and it's all good and it's a wash. Like, you got to pay that back too. They gonna tack that on to the $1 million that they gave you out up front. So now, remember when we had to do this? Remember when we had to pay for these and this and that? We had to bail you out of jail when you was on tour. Yeah, tell me y'all seen the story, the New Edition story. Same stuff. That still be going on. The labels be like, oh, well, we had to pay for hotels, tour buses, this, that. We had to pay for equipment. We had to pay the people on tour with you. Listen, all of that come out to your contract. You paying for that. They not going to pay for that for nothing. But, yeah, hopefully he got some smart people around him that's going to help him and teach him how to handle his money and how to get from under the thumb of these record labels. And most times when you find that you see successful black men, you find out that they have a strong black woman behind them. Usually whether it's a mother, auntie, sister, cousin, wife, baby mama, whatever, that's supporting them. You have that woman behind you, leading you, guiding you, in your ear, teaching you things, and basically trying to keep you out of trouble and trying to keep you from being taken advantage of. Now, speaking of us women, I don't have nothing against the trans community. I really don't. I don't have no problem with these people. My issue is, I heard that they taking uteruses and giving them to trans women. So my question is, where the hell they getting these uteruses from to give to these trans women? Because I ain't never heard of them creating no uteruses in no labs. So they coming from somewhere. They ain't taking mine. I'll tell you that right now. But in the same token, it's a lot of black women going missing in this country. So the black market is a very big and mysterious place. My concern is that these black women that's going missing, their uteruses what's the plural of uterus? Uteri? I don't know. But I really hope that these black women going missing ain't getting their uteruses or uteri, whatever the plural is, I don't know, don't quote me, ain't getting taken to be given to trans women, because that would suck. You know what I mean? I don't see too many Beckys or Rebeccas or Mollys or Emilys going missing. I'm just saying, I ain't got nothing against y'all. Don't take this. Ain't no race slander. I'm just saying I'm concerned about Manubian sisters going missing, and then all of a sudden now we got trans women saying, "Oh, I could go buy me a uterus." From where? From where? Where'd you get that uterus from, sis? Where? They not making them in labs. They're really not. I don't think they are. At least not a functional one. What, you gonna get a prosthetic uterus? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, dog. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, are they making? I hope it. Like, but if it's a prosthetic uterus, it's not functional. So what's the whole point of getting a uterus if it's gonna be prosthetic? It got to be a real uterus from a functioning human. So now they got human trafficking and people going missing, and then they got the black market. I ain't no conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying it all seemed to tie together and seem to be relative. Sisters, watch your back. Please don't park next to no white truck with no windows with locks on it. Be mindful. Watch yourself. Watch your children. Watch your babies. Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Hide your husbands, because they taking everybody uteruses out here. Next, I want to talk about, because that kind of struck a nerve for me. I don't need nobody taking no uteruses from me. But y'all be careful. And I don't know about how anybody feels. If y'all been following the show, we've talked about the term life marriage contract a couple of times. And I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, again, because I'm really adamant about this thing. I want to make it a real thing. If I do get married, that's what's my marriage contract gonna be. I'm not gonna take the till death do us part, because then I don't want to have to kill you to get rid of you. I'm just saying I'm not big on the whole lifelong partner thing, because I'm temperamental. So I might like you today, and then you get on my nerves tomorrow, and then I want you out my house next week. So for me, a term life marriage contract, they got term life insurance. And you know what? I think it should be a universal life marriage contract, because universal life insurance, it'd be a term life contract, and then you can roll it over into a whole life contract. So I think you should be able to do that with marriage. Like, you could get a term life contract and be like, see where this going, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you are a liability and I can't do this, so we gonna have to turn this right here. This is the end of the contract. Or you could roll it over into a whole life contract. Like, you know what? I think I don't really think anybody else gonna work for me like you do. So you know what? Let's go ahead and roll this over. We gonna amend this contract. We gonna make it a whole life contract. Have that option. You shouldn't. All right. So when you 18, right? Me personally, when I had got a job, my first official job. You're 18 years old, you going into this job, and you got a 401k, and you're supposed to be picking your investment. So whether you want to be fully vested or your retirement plan. I'm 18 years old. I don't know what I want. Like, how you expect me to pick a contract or my investment, my retirement plan when I'm 18? I don't know nothing about this. I can't be like knowledgeable and have a sound decision about this. So how do you expect me to pick that? It's the same thing. Like, people be getting married in their 20s, and they be like, oh, till death do us part, and then next thing you know, by 23, they're divorced. Like, I don't know. Everybody's situation is different, because I actually have a couple of friends who I went to high school with, and they're still married. I actually, there's a couple, and shout out to Ken and Blondell. Shout out to y'all. They've been together since high school, still together, married happily. I'm so proud of y'all. But not everybody is like that. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody is that blessed to have a situation like that. So I really feel like a term marriage contract should be a thing. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse for those of you who heard me talk about it before, but for those of you who haven't, it's an idea. Think about it. Explore that idea. Because that's what them rich people do. They have these contracts. They set their own terms. Why we can't do it? Just because we ain't got all the money that they got, do we not deserve the same freedom that they have? Nah, man. I feel like we should be able to do the same thing, too. Now, if you haven't been up to date with what has been going on with Shut Up and Listen throughout 2019, we've had a couple of guests on. We recently had Shaka Amos come by the show. Shout outs to him. And he dropped some knowledge on us, you know what I mean? He dropped a couple of gems, and he talked about a lot of different things. He even just recently had a special for I believe it was, he said he did one for Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, which the holiday happened to fall on my birthday this year. Well, my birthday falls on Martin Luther King Day every leap year. So every 4 years, my birthday is on Martin Luther King Day. And he did a special highlighting a lot of different things about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And y'all should go ahead and check that out. Check out Shaka Amos' page. I'll share it to the Shut Up and Listen page. I believe he had his own page, as well as T.C. Atkinson, his queen. They both had, they were doing a special for that. So y'all go ahead and check that out. I don't know. I think that's pretty, I kind of ranted a little bit. I didn't expect to talk this long, because I did say it was going to be a short show. But if y'all got some topics y'all want us to discuss, drop them on the Shut Up and Listen page, or inbox me, or drop them in the Shut Up and Listen to the viewers page. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. I ain't scared to talk about no topics, at least myself. I don't know how Brian Ontario feels, you know. And if you want to be a guest on the show, you can always hit us up. Schedule it through the booking link on the page. You can always come by. We have an open door policy here. It's not no like exclusive, like, oh, you have to be a celebrity or you have to be a business owner to be on Shut Up and Listen. It's not like that. You know, we're very down to earth here. So if you ever want to come by and chop it up with us and talk and cover something, or just discuss something, just let us know. Shout out to Cool Peoples. My dog, you got to come back to the show and come chop it up with us again. I forgot to, like, we had to cut it short. We didn't even really get to talk like we wanted to. Jessica, you said you was coming back, and you ain't been back yet. So whenever you come back, we'll be glad to have you. And we're gonna try to implement a lot of different things on the show this year. Get a little bit more structure, because I know I tend to be a little bit unorganized. I be winging it. I don't know if y'all could tell, but I really be winging it a lot of the time. So I'm trying to get a little bit more organized and get things together and not ramble so much. It's like we end up starting off on one topic, and then we end up on a tangent, and then we got to kind of reel it back in. But it's all right. You know what I mean? Like, that lets you know that it's all organic, and it's not forced or, like, you know, trying to make it something that is not. Everything here happens organically, and if you want to come and check out the vibe, feel free to come by. But we're going to take a quick commercial break so that I can rest my mouth and drink some water, because I'm getting a little parched, getting a little dry. I'm not used to being here by myself, so I got to keep y'all entertained with what I can say, because I don't know if y'all find me entertaining, but I appreciate y'all tuning in. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We got to pay some bills, play some music. We're going to check out what artists we got here on K1NG Radio. You know, we always got an artist. If you want your music played at the station, please send your music to submit to K1NGradio@gmail.com. Or if you want to be a guest on the show, just hit the booking link. Or if you want to do an interview on any of the shows, it doesn't only have to be Shut Up and Listen. You can hit us up, and we can get you tied in with K1NG Radio. We'll be back with a little bit more Shut Up and Listen. I'm probably only going to talk to y'all for a few more minutes after this commercial break, but we'll see how I feel when we come back.
You are now tuned in to K1NG Radio, the #1 independent radio station in South Florida.
Smoke in my eyes, can't see, I can't even breathe. 4 pounds in the back of my seat, hopped out with a bag on me. One nigga more beef, I can't even call it you stolen. Bitch, I'm up in the molly, yo girl on the line, She calling, but my phone ain't ringing, it ain't Guala, yeah. Ever since I knew you been getting paper. Fucked a bitch in law school, I'm feeling like the mayor, yeah. Niggas always be on some hate shit. Bitch, life is whatever you wanna make of it, yeah. So make you made it, Rocky thoughts slaughtering the king. Stop it, you need to kiss the ring. Polish, sucking dick for a piece of knowledge. All you finna get is none. Cop the pack and make it buzz. Through the club, watching flood. Wipe me down on this mud. Young nigga came with the drugs. I am the hoe for the plug. We ran it up just because. We ran off with a nigga what? Bitch, I'm thuggin', I'm a thug. Who rapping about what? All the real show me love. Sick nigga shit up. Young nigga ride around with the fire on me. Had smoke in my eyes, can't see. I can't even breathe. 4 pounds in the back of my seat. Hopped out with a bag on me. What nigga want beef? I can't even call it you stallin'. Picture all my niggas ballin'. Be up in the molly. Yo, girl on the line, she callin'. But my phone ain't ringing, it ain't Guala. Nigga try to be hot like me. They try to drop like me. They gon' try to get the guap like me. I had to wait up in my bag. They can cop like me. If you a broke boy, then you sad. Thank the Lord it's not me. Pick it up, bring it back. Hear me shit and have a splash of that. Wrist water, hits the splash attack. My smoke and make it happy mad. Had to splash on them niggas big sauce. Damn niggas drown that fast. I got accounts to make fast, so I ain't going like that. Yeah. Young nigga ride around with the fire on me. Had smoke in my eyes, can't see. I can't even breathe. 4 pounds in the back of my seat. Hopped out with a bag on me. What nigga want beef? I can't even call it you stallin'. Picture all my niggas ballin'. Be up in the molly. Yo, girl on the line, she callin'. But my phone ain't ringing, it ain't Guala, yeah.
Tree time.
You are now tuned in to K1NG Radio, the #1 independent radio station in South Florida.
Welcome back, y'all. Even though on the live, we ain't going nowhere. Y'all was here the whole time for the whole commercial break, and y'all saw me just kind of sit here. But whatever. Welcome back for those of you who are on the K1NG Radio Live or listening on the app. Thank y'all for listening. If you haven't already done so, please like, follow, and click See First on the K1NG Radio page. If you have not followed the Shut Up and Listen page, please do so as well. You don't have to do the like, follow, see first. You know, I post stuff throughout the week as well as my co-host. We both manage the page, so we post stuff from time to time on the Shut Up and Listen page, interesting topics or intriguing topics and things like that, things of that nature. So if there's anything that you ever see on the page that you want us to go in depth with a little bit more, discuss a little bit more, feel free to drop a comment, like, or, you know, just let us know, give us a reaction so we can engage with you on that. I just want to talk a little bit more about my birthday. So yeah, I went ziplining. It was really fun. I already live in like Central Florida, so driving to Ocala was like a 2-hour drive for me. And why whenever black folks plan stuff, right? I you already know where this is going. Why whenever black folks plan stuff, when you start out in the planning phase, it be like 15 people that's supposed to go. When you say you want to do something, it be like 30 people. When you start planning it be like 15 people. When it's time to go, it be like 3. I ain't got no problem with that because originally I was planning it for me. So if nobody showed up, I was going to have a good time regardless. Because I already know how that theory go, the numbers. I know how it works. So I was actually surprised that anybody showed up because I was really just doing it for me. But shout out to my girl, Miss J, who came along, as well as D, who rode out with us. So we had a good time. We went ziplining over the canyons in Ocala. Yes, Florida has canyons. I ain't know that either. I think they said it used to be a mine, so they like a construction company owned it or whatever, and they blew out like the mountains or whatever was in there and made the canyon. So they're man-made canyons and lakes and stuff, but it's still beautiful regardless, even though they're man-made. But it was fun. It was a whole lot of fun. I posted the pictures on my page. At one point, I think they said I was going like 50 miles an hour on the zip line. So yeah, my little short, heavy self was zooming across that line. But I feel like doing adventurous things for me, is one of the most fulfilling parts of life, is just going on adventures and doing new things, trying new things. And it kind of, I wouldn't say it hurts my heart, but it's like, it's kind of disappointing when I hear my fellow melanated folks say, and excuse my language ahead of time, y'all know what y'all say. They be like, oh, that's some white people shit. First of all, no, it's not. It is, the reason why we feel that way is because we are a very reserved people by default. We don't venture off into too many things, and I guess by nature, with us, naturally being around stuff and knowing what to avoid, we be like, you know what, that look dangerous, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and avoid the drama because I might get hurt and I don't want to get hurt, so I'm gonna just leave that alone. But it's actually a quite exhilarating experience, and a lot of people ask me if I was scared. I probably wasn't scared because I went skydiving first, but I'll tell you one thing: if you're afraid of heights, don't do it, because it's gonna freak you out, especially when you're climbing up the ladder. It's not like a ladder; you actually go upstairs, so it's like a platform that you go up. When you get to the top, you're pretty high up there. It's like being on the 6th or 7th floor of a building, if not a little higher. And you're out in the open air with, you got on gear. It's not and a lot of people are under the misconception that when you go ziplining, it's just your hands that's holding your weight. It's not. Your hands are just there for you to steer yourself. Realistically, all your weight is being held by harnesses that are around your waist, your upper body, and around your legs. So all of your weight is being held up by your bottom and your midsection, and you're on a harness that's holding you. So if you don't have any upper body strength, it's not a big deal, because I know I don't. My arms are weak as shit. I could listen. I tell my daughter now, I be like, mommy can't carry you for more than like 5 minutes because my arms don't give out. So unless you want to fall, I suggest you walk, because I can't do it. I ain't got it like that. But it's very fun. If you're not necessarily afraid of heights, but speed is an issue for you, I would recommend parasailing. Parasailing is a lot more relaxing. It's a quiet type experience, which I did also in 2011 briefly. Like I would say probably maybe a month or two after I went skydiving. I didn't have the money to go skydiving right after it, so I went parasailing, which was also fun. I don't know, I want to do a lot more adventurous stuff with my life, because all I do is really go home and go to work. And I don't really do the clubs, because I don't find the clubs enticing. I don't know. That's never really been my thing. And you can't really socialize. You don't really get much out of it. You spend a bunch of money getting into a overcrowded building full of smoke, loud music. You go home, your ears ring, your hair smell like Black and Miles. You can't breathe. You're half drunk, tired. And half the time you get drunk enough, if you get drunk enough, you don't even remember what the fuck happened. So what was the point of you spending all that money? Whereas you can, ain't no pictures. You can't take pictures in the club because it'd be too fucking dark. So all you got is the pictures that you can take with your flash, and then you be all sweaty. It's not really time to take pictures in the club because it be hot. I mean, I don't know, the clubs I went to, it be hot. So you be all sweaty from dancing. You be sweated out your makeup, sweated out your silk press. So by the time you actually had a good time, you look a mess. I don't know. Clubs, that's just not my scene. I'll do a lounge. I'll do like a spoken word. Like I like a more chill, relaxed vibe if I'm gonna go out to a night, like a night venue. I don't do clubs and all that partying and stuff. And if that's your vibe, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that ain't for me. So everybody has their vices. Everybody has their own preference. But I don't know. I want to travel more. I want to go more places. And I feel like for me personally, I don't really do birthday parties for my daughter. Not because I want to deprive her of that experience, but when you a little kid, especially like when they real little, the only people you're really inviting to their parties is like their cousins and your friends' kids. So is that really their friends? Like, let's be realistic. Like, half the time they be fighting with other people's kids, and y'all gotta break it up because they don't really get along, because they don't really know them like that. Them your friends, and you want your friends' kids to get along with your kids. It's just too much. And then you spend all that money for what? If you're going to spend all that money on some shit they ain't going to remember, just take their ass to Chuck E. Cheese real quick and just let them have a little bit of fun. I'm just saying, that's just me. I'm practical. If I'm going to actually spend money on an experience for them, I'd rather take them out of the country. My daughter has been to Jamaica, which for me is not much of a big deal because my family's from Jamaica. I want to go to Jamaica as a tourist one day because every time I go to Jamaica, I got to go to my family's house. Or I got to go see some family, and most times I go with my mama. Honestly, I prefer to go to Jamaica with my mama because I feel safer. Because I'm not going to Jamaica by myself. I know my family from there, but that's not my territory. I don't know my way around that place. I ain't trying to get kidnapped, lost, shot. I'm not trying to get caught up like that. So I go with my mama. I let my uncles drive us. I stay safe. But as far as like traveling to other places on my bucket list, I think I want to go to Japan. I definitely want to go to Australia and see the Sydney Opera House. I definitely want to go to Niagara Falls, even though that's like technically on the other side of the country. It's just right there. I want to go to Niagara Falls, and I don't know. That's pretty much the only top 3 places. I want to go to Venice. I've always wanted to go to Venice and Rome, but I'm not even sure if I really want to go there for the right reasons, because I'm like, I just want to go. I don't even really want to see like the sights, because I don't like to walk around. You know what I mean? That's why I don't go to the fair. That's why I don't go to Sawgrass Mall. I don't like to walk around. I don't want to do all that walking. My feet gonna hurt. I'm gonna want to sit down. Ain't nowhere to sit. I'm gonna be cranky and I'm gonna want to leave. So I'm not really a sightseer. I'm not finna go hiking through the mountains of Europe. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna, anything that requires an excessive amount of walking, I'm probably not gonna do. So most of my traveling is probably gonna be on a tour bus, something I can sit down and see. I'm probably gonna do some wine tasting this year. I know there's some vineyards or some wine tasting places in Florida, so I don't gotta go too far. But I also like to be comfortable when I travel. I don't know about anybody else. People can travel and go to like a rinky-dink hotel and be like, oh, I just needed to sleep and take a shower. Listen, baby, where I take a shower at, I need to be comfortable to take a shower, because I can't get naked somewhere I ain't comfortable at. I'm just saying. I don't know how you get naked somewhere that you like, oh, I just need to shower. The shower's important. If your shower got mold in it, I'm not taking a shower in there. I can't be comfortable. If the bed smell funny, it got burn stains from like in the sheets and stuff. Listen, I done seen some stuff. I went to Texas one time and it looked like a hotel that you see in a movie when somebody out on the lam and they running away from the cops, and it be that one little strip of a building in the middle of nowhere with like 4 doors. That was the hotel we stayed in when we went to Texas. It was for my mama's graduation. That thing was ghetto. Okay, it was a dead roach in there already when we got in there. And I was, baby, I said, not again, never again. Call me bougie, call me what you want, but if I'm going to go out of town, I need to be comfortable. I need to be able to sleep and know that something ain't going to crawl on my face or in my mouth, or that I ain't sleeping on some, listen, I be overthinking. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I done been to a hotel where I showered with my slippers on, I had flip-flops, and I was like, I'm not stepping on this with my bare feet, because I'm not trying to get no type of fungus or gangrene or nothing, and then have my whole foot fall off, because I don't know who been in here. Like this, it already looked bad. But I think that's probably why it takes me a lot longer to travel, because I need certain comforts when I go out of town. And since I can't take my whole house with me when I travel, then I need to find the amenities that would be conducive to my comfort. But everybody ain't able, and I'm already over my time, even though I started late. You know what I'm saying? I tried to keep it short, but I guess I really do talk a lot. Talk more than I thought I would. Anyway, I appreciate y'all sticking with me and listening to my nonsense and my little bit of sense, because I made a little bit of sense somewhere up and through there. By the way, sisters, I'm going to just reiterate this one more time. Don't let nobody take your uterus. Don't go miss, sisters. Pay attention to your surroundings. But yeah, that's all we got today. We gonna try to organize 2020 a little better and have our topics more structured And the way that we did the Battle of the Sexes for December, where we had it in a series, I'm going to try to do that with the show throughout the year, so that when people come back and look at the catalog of Shut Up and Listen, and they look through the archives of Shut Up and Listen, they can see that there was something. It kind of flows. There's some type of structure to it where you can follow along. It ain't just all over the place like Family Guy, which the Family Guy episodes are still entertaining, even though they be all over the place. So Seth MacFarlane, I see you, dog. And one last shout out to Oprah. I'm on that asses. That's all we got. I'm about to blow up. Y'all don't even know. Thanks for tuning in to Shut Up and Listen. It's your girl Lorena Leona, and we'll see y'all next Sunday, 3 to 4, right here on K1G Radio. Thanks for tuning in.
You are now tuned in to K1G Radio, the #1 independent radio station in South Florida.